Hello students, welcome back to my channel Maths Insider. Today we're going to discuss about the polynomials, the types of polynomials, and we'll learn about how to find the types of polynomials and degree of a polynomial. This is very basic and important concept, so watch till end. So what you will learn from this video is identifying the polynomial, which I have already discussed, using the different properties of the polynomials. Then we will try to identify the degree, which again depends on the power of the variables and the nature of the power of the variable, which should be whole number, and the types of polynomial. Again, it depends on the degree of the polynomials. So we have to first identify the polynomial from the expression, then you have to find the degree, and finally we have to find the types. So let's begin and stay till the end. So we already learned in the previous video what are the ingredients of the polynomial. So for any polynomial there are some characteristics and we have to understand those characteristics, which we have already done. So here we'll try to recap because this is very fundamental, and once we understand this in future it will be very easy to understand about the polynomials. So polynomial is an algebraic expression made up of, number one, a variable like x, y, z, or whatever it may be. Then we have constants. Some constant number can also be the part of the polynomial. The coefficient, it is optional, it may be there, may not be there, but that is also a part. And finally, which is the most important, is the power of variable. Now this should be the whole number. What is the character of this power? It should be whole number. It should not be integer, it should be the fractions, it should be a whole number. Let us identify the polynomial for given algebraic expression. So let's do the exercise. So example 1, let's see how we can able to use these characteristics and find the polynomial. So 3x square plus 5x plus 2. Let's check the power of this particular variable x. So we can see this x is the variable, and here what is the power of x? There 2 and 1. So 2 and 1 are the variables, and what is the nature of these powers? I mean, whether they are whole number or integer or any other, or non-whole number. So the power of the variable are whole numbers, so it is satisfying. So we can say that this expression is polynomial, straightforward. So if you know these characteristics, you can easily identify. Let's take another example. So example 2, 1 by x plus 3, whether this expression is an polynomial or not. This can be written as x to the power minus 1 plus 3, as we are getting x from denominator to numerator. The above expression is not a polynomial. Why? Because the power of x is minus 1, which is negative, which is not a whole number. So therefore this expression is not a polynomial because the power is negative number. Okay, that's fine. So then we can move on to another example and see whether this kind of expression is polynomial or not. 5 root over x plus 1 by x to the power 2 plus 1. So we can write at 5x to the power half plus x to the power minus 2 plus 1, because we are moving x from denominator to numerator. Here the power of variable of x are what? Half and minus 2. Now these half and minus 2 are not whole numbers. So the above expression is not a polynomial. It's very simple. Now we will see what is the degree of polynomial. So first we have identified what expressions, all algebraic expressions are not polynomial, but with the characteristics in place we can identify which expressions are polynomial, which we have identified. Now we will try to determine what is the degree of polynomial, because on the base of that the types of polynomial will classify it. So what is this degree? The highest power of the variable for a given polynomial is called as a degree of polynomial. We have taken this, we have explained this in the earlier video. Again, this is a recap which will more and more clarify your your understanding on the degree. So let's take an example to identify the degree of a polynomial. So in this expression, 5x cubed plus 2x square plus 7, this is a polynomial, as you can see. And then we'll try to find the highest power of the variable x. So what is the highest power of the variable x? This is equal to 3. So as 3 is the highest power of the variable, so we can say that the degree of the polynomial is 3. Clear? So we have to first identify the variable, then you have to identify the power, then you have to say if it is the highest power will give you the degree of the polynomial. Take another example too. 4x square plus 9. Yes, this is a polynomial. Now what is the highest power of this particular variable? Is x equal to 2. So we can say that the degree of the polynomial is equal to 2. Now we can take, say, another example 3, and may write the expression as 6x plus 5. Again, we can say this particular expression is a polynomial, and the highest power of the variable x is 1. So what we can say, that the degree of the polynomial is equal to 1. So that is how we can determine the degree of polynomial. Now once we know the degree, then we are coming to the final part of this particular topic, is types of polynomials. So polynomials are classified based on their degree. So what I was trying to explain earlier, that's why the degree is important. So once we understand the degree, then it will be easy for us to classify the polynomial in the following types. Now, number 1 is a zero polynomial. What is meant by zero polynomial? So for example, 0, if there is any expression with 0, for 0 there is no variable associated with it. Okay, there is no variable which is associated with 0, because 0 times anything is always 0. So at any point there will be no variable associated with 0. So then its degree is not defined. So if there is no variable, we cannot able to determine the degree, and therefore this is undefined. So this is called a zero polynomial. So 0 is also a polynomial, but this is called a zero polynomial because we cannot able to determine the degree. Next is the constant polynomial, say 5, 10, minus 3. These are constants. Now here the degree of a polynomial is 0. How? So 5 into 1 is equal to 5, or we can write 5x to the power 0, because x to the power 0 will come to 1. So hence the power of the variable x. So here we can determine the degree of the variable, although the variable is not directly associated. So but the degree of this particular polynomial is 0, because my variable's power is 0. So the degree of this polynomial is 0. So this is called a constant polynomial. So in any particular problem, if they have given the constant polynomial or the zero polynomial, you can easily identify what the polynomial is, how it looks like. Now the third one is the linear polynomial. So check this expression 3x plus 2. Here the degree of the polynomial is equal to 1, because the highest power of the variable x associated with this particular expression or the polynomial is 1. So this particular polynomial with the degree 1 is called a linear polynomial. This can also written as a monomial or monomial. Then fourth is the quadratic polynomial. So here 2x square plus 5x plus 1. What is the degree of this particular polynomial? We can easily find out from the highest power of the variable x. So the highest power of the variable x is 2, and therefore the degree of the polynomial is 2, as this is the highest power of the variable x. So this kind of polynomial with degree 2 is called a quadratic polynomial, or we can also say binomial. So linear is monomial, 2 is the binomial. Now we have cubic polynomial. So x to the power 3 plus 2x square plus 4. So what is the degree of this polynomial? The degree of the polynomial is equal to 3, as the highest power of this variable is of x is equal to 3. So this kind of polynomial is called, with degree 3, is called a cubic polynomial. So that's all. So we have this 5 important types of polynomial. They are zero polynomial, constant polynomial, linear polynomial or monomial, quadratic polynomial or binomial, cubic polynomial. So important exam tips: find the degree and type of polynomial. So if they have given in the questions, find the type of polynomial from this expression. So first identify the highest power of the polynomial. Okay, so we have to first, how can I identify the highest power? Whatever variable is there, their power should be the highest, and then write the degree. Then you have to write the degree, and depending on the degree, you know the classification, you will write which kind of polynomial that particular expression falls to, and you will write whether zero, constant, linear, quadratic or cubic. That's it. Now let's us quickly revise what we have done so far. So we have seen how we'll find the degree of polynomial. The degree of polynomial is nothing but the highest power of the variable of the polynomial will determine the degree of the polynomial. Then depending on that, we can able to classify the polynomials in one of the following types. So let me show you in a tabular form so that you can able to visualize and understand it easily. So 0 degree is called a zero polynomial. With the degree 1 is called a linear polynomial. With number 2 is called the quadratic polynomial. With number 3 we have cubic polynomial, and then with 4 in the next video we will learn the zero of the polynomial, which is very important concept, and there are many problems which comes with this. So fundamentally we have to clear how this zero of polynomial works, which is very important and will be the part of the next topic. Now some assignments based on today's lesson. So these are some of the problems, like identify the types of polynomials. You can practice it, and maybe you can put this in comments so that I can verify whether these are correct or not. So with this, you can subscribe my channel if you like, and be in touch with this channel, because there are many such fundamental and interesting topics going to come. Thank you.